guys, welcome back to John Junkies. Today we are discussing beating the heat.
It is so freaking hot.
Many of you know the whole western states have been 100 plus, clear up to 110 in some areas. So being in an RV, trying to keep it cool and yourselves cool and everything else cool, it's a struggle.
Yeah, when you think about it, you're just in a big tin box. And it has a little bit of insulation. I mean, some of you maybe have the nicer rigs like mobile suites that have about double the insulation than the rest of us, but it's still just a tin box. And it's hard to keep a tin box cool. So we're gonna go through and break down some of the things that we do to make it so that we can go and have a good time in this hot summer heat. When getting out and RVing in this summer heat, there's a few things you could do, and first thing you should do is make sure that you have checked your tires. The heat it's rough on tires. There's no way around it. And even brand new tires. So make sure you're checking your air pressures, going through, looking them over on your tow vehicle and on your RV.
Your RV as well.
Yeah. So many people off the side of the road in 100 degrees with blown out tires. And I'm not saying this will keep it from happening, but it doesn't hurt.
Today we are heading out on another adventure. Jesse is getting our tires checked because that's one thing we do when it is so dang hot out, is checked pressure in our tires.
We check the tire pressure every time, but when it's this hot, it's 100 degrees and it's supposed to get maybe to 102. It's super important to make sure that you have the right pressure in. That way you don't have a blowout. I mean, it's no guarantee that you're not gonna have a blowout, but at least you're starting the trip the right way. Because none of the trip matters if you don't make it.
So that is what we are doing first on our check-off list before.
I have sweat running down my back.
Anyways, this is what we're doing first on our list before we head out. Other things we are looking at is the vehicle itself. We haven't had issues this past 2 weeks, so everything seems to be running smoothly with the vehicle. That's also something you have to think about when you are towing in the heat, as well as your terrain and how hard your vehicle is working.
Second thing I'm going to mention is getting your awning out. That gives you a lot of shade on that side of your trailer, which helps you, and hopefully your fridge is on that side as well. But it's, you know, there's always that pros and cons with your awning. You can always put it out, get a windstorm, get it ripped off, so you do have to be cautious about when putting it out.
Yeah, don't think you can just put it out and forget it.
Yes.
That's a bad idea.
Another thing we've seen that actually attaches to the awning tube when it rolls out, it just comes straight down, it attaches right into the awning, into that little track, and it also offers some more shade. Kind of looks like a thick screen, if you will.
Yeah, we need to order one of those.
Yeah, that is something we are definitely looking into. We saw a couple that had it, which actually had it tied down.
They found a good use for their old deep cell batteries.
Yes, to tie it down. So that is something we're going to look into. So I mentioned the fridge. That is something you have to do in the hot heat, is kind of protect the wall that your fridge is on.
How many calls do you get a week of our fridge is not working in our RV?
Probably, I'm not kidding, 2 to 3 a day. And it happens. Fridges are old. They're worn out, they run out of cooling element. There's so many factors, but something that you can do when you're out and about is try and shade that portion of the wall where your fridge is sitting.
Well guys, we are here in our site and we are grateful for wind today. Usually we are not, but today with the heat we are. It is offering a little bit of relief and moving the air, so that helps. Some things that we've looked at when we got here is a tree, so we were happy for that. We are trying to get just kind of our trailer best we can in the shade to help with that. Also, the shade is going to help this side of our trailer to relieve our fridge from having to work so hard. Typically, fridges go out in the heat because they are on the exterior wall and the wall is getting hot. So we are glad for a little bit of shade late afternoon on that wall as well. Other things we are looking at, usually we like to put out our awning, but we can't due to wind because we are afraid of wind and awnings, and I've seen way too many come off in the wind. So, a few extra little tips for you when you are battling the heat.
Yeah, and another thing, we bought a fan that installs on the back side of the refrigerator that helps keep the air circulating, so that way the fridge doesn't have to work as hard. And it makes a huge difference. Keeping your fridge cool is one of the hardest things when you're camping in the heat. This week, I decided to install these Titan refrigerator fans for RVs. It doesn't exactly fit, it says universal, but that means universal for everything except a 2008 carriage Domani. So I had to use some zip ties and kind of redneck a little bit, but I like that it has this little gauge here, so you can turn on manual or auto, and you can adjust your fan speeds. Just help move some more air, keep everything a little bit cooler. Keeping your fridge cool is probably one of the most important things, so it's just nice to do that little bit extra for it. And they're so quiet, you can't hear them at all, which is another nice thing. Except to have these little blue zip ties hanging down and green zip ties. While talking about appliances, check your air conditioners. A lot of people don't know to get up on your roof and just wash your air conditioner out, clean it up. There's so many things you can do like that that just make it run more efficiently, that can really save your trip. Because if you get up there and your air conditioner doesn't work, I mean, come on, it's game over at that point.
SOL.
Yeah, you're SOL.
Also, remember to check the vents on the inside. Just
clean them out.
Clean them out.
Yeah, just was one of those maintenance things. Just like you change the furnace filter at your house, you have to check those filters and, you know, clean things up a little bit sometimes. When camping in the heat, you want to avoid putting heat into your trailer as much as possible. And one of the best ways, or worst ways, to heat up your trailer is to cook in it. Kara has us all set up tonight. We are smoking some sliders. We love this Traeger tailgater. Kara uses it to bake all sorts of stuff, and when it's hot like it is right now, you don't want to cook inside. So we do as much cooking as possible outside. We'll do breakfast on this thing. We do everything but barbecue. When it comes to barbecuing, we still use our Weber because I just like it better for barbecuing. But if you can avoid cooking inside when it's hot like this, well, and when you're camping in general, you cook outside.
And the nice thing about cooking outside, there's no cleanup.
It makes it so nice. Yeah, it's so much easier. Less dishes and everything else.
Something that may help beat the heat, at least during the day, is finding a body of water. We just got some new blow-up paddleboards that are super nice that we can just throw them in, have their own backpack. They've been really nice to use.
It's just so nice to get out and cool off in a lake. So if you're camping in the summer, the absolute best way to beat the heat is to be out on a lake. At least that's what we try to do. Comment down below what you do to beat the heat, all the steps that you take. I know everybody has different things that they do, and it'd be interesting to have people, you know, give out some of their recommendations on what they do, because we by no means know everything.
Thanks again for catching us this week at John Junkies. We do appreciate the viewership. And once again, get out and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
It's always nice to find an ice cream shop.